All right, guys, it is finally happening. As of 2 days ago, I made the decision finally, after debating back and forth, testing this, that, and the rest, that I am going to be using Facebook ads as part of my digital real estate pre-selling process. Okay, now, if you didn't already see this or you haven't already seen this, I have a video. It's probably about 6 months to a year old, where I talked about. Actually, it wasn't even a video, it was a podcast where I went in depth. Can you use Facebook ads for this process to get deals? And if you guys go listen to that, you're going to be like, oh, he's really come a long way, okay? This has been in the works for a long time, but yesterday, or not yesterday, I keep saying yesterday, 2 days ago, I officially released a brand new training. It was like an hour and a half long, to my digital landlord community, where I walked them through step by step with a document. And I showed them this process that I've been using that has been absolutely crushing it. I've done 13 different campaigns. I don't know the exact amount of money I've spent, but I've had some really, really, really good success. And I've said this multiple times, guys. The way that Facebook ads is performing, it's reminding me of 2020, big time. And that is in a great way, because 2020 was the year that we scaled to 100,000 per month. It's the year that we were closing deals in 24 hours. It's the year that we were doing, $10,000 in new revenue in one single month. It was in a phenomenal year. Okay, so guys, in this video, I'm going to be jumping into my screen here in just a second, but I'm going to be, number one, breaking down my reasoning why. And by the way, I've been debating this for a while, so we're going to jump into that. I'm going to also share with you some of the results I've seen testing this over the last 3 to 4 months. I'm going to be talking about some of the niches that this works really well for, as well as some of the niches that it's not working as well for, okay? And I'm also going to explain how this is going to affect my entire pre-selling process now that I'm adding this into the mix, okay? And by the way, if you don't know who I am, my name is Nick Wood. I've been doing this for 9 years exclusively. I've made millions of dollars like doing the actual model itself, but I've also made a lot of money teaching it. Okay, and even got some of my own students who are on a $1 million run rate. Okay, it's been a journey. I'm excited. If you haven't already, I've got tons of videos. You can check it out and get more of my story. But all that to say, guys, this might be worth listening to because I've been doing this a while. Okay. Also, if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say DRE, digital real estate, rank and rent, website rental, I'm talking about the simplest business model on the internet. And not to bore anyone that's been following this channel for a long time, but it's very simple. You pick a city and you pick a niche, you build a website, you rank that website on Google, and then you sell the phone calls. And then that's it. You rinse and repeat, you rinse and repeat. That is the model I have made millions and millions of dollars from. So with that said, guys, let's jump in. All right, let's jump right in this. I'm going to cover why, my results, niches that are good and niches that are not working as well, and then what this means for the pre-selling process for those of you that are big believers in this process that have made tons of money and are wondering how this is going to affect it, just like I did. Okay, so let's start with why. Guys, I talk a lot inside of my training. If you guys are members of my digital landlord community, and some of you guys that are inside of, that just know me or that have talked to me or seen one of my trainings, I always talk about strategy versus technique. The strategy always going to be the same. The strategy that I follow with the pre-selling process is I give results in advance. I send leads to customers first. By the way, I do this in every area of my life. When I'm trying to build a relationship, I don't go in and I don't go for the ask. I go and I give and I give and I give, and then boom, now we're ready, right? Whatever that is, a professional relationship, etc. You always got that. That's never going to change. Okay, the strategy, the technique. That's going to change. What we've been using, our technique that we've been using since 2020, well, it started in 2020 with the Google Smart Ads. And literally it was a heyday. You could throw an ad up, even if it wasn't perfect, boom, 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 get an ad coupon. You spend like $25, getting $125 of ads. And it was just awesome. And that was the technique. And I said this when I did my very first training. I said, this technique may change. And at the time, it was working really, really well. But I just knew long term that it was most likely there was a chance it's going to change. And I even mentioned the example. I was like, if you could go on the street corner and you could twirl a sign and get leads, and that was your technique, awesome. Okay. If you can find that it's cost effective and it's repeatable, go do it. Or a billboard or whatever the case is, wrap your car. That's just technique. The strategy is what stays the same. So guys, don't get caught up in, it's Facebook or that. The technique is changing, the strategy is staying the same. Okay, so here's why I decided to start testing it and why I'm going to be adding it to my arsenal. By the way, I'm not getting rid of Google Ads. It's still another tool in the tool belt, which I'm going to get to in a minute. Okay, biggest reason why I'm switching is because the leads come quicker. There's something about being able to call a business owner today, or first of all, there's something about being able to identify a city and a niche today and put up an ad and have leads coming in within sometimes 5 hours. I just had a student 2 days ago, I taught this inside of my community, right? Within 5 hours of him setting up his campaign, I even posted on my Instagram story. He posted inside of our group. He's like, I did the exact strategy like Nick said. Within 5 hours, I already got my first lead. Okay. I'm not saying it's always going to happen that fast. Could be 24 hours, could be 48 hours, could be, even if it's 3 days, even if it's a week, it's still really, really quick. And so being able to like shorten that time from the time that I decide I want to go into something to the time that I have leads coming in, I can start calling business owners. That's huge. Also, once I hook the business owner, being able to just pump them full of leads is huge to show them that I actually know what I'm doing and that there's movement happening and whatever. And that is really important for me because, guys, in 2020, when this was happening the same way with Google smart campaigns, I was closing deals. There was times I would call today, okay? Lead would come in. I'd call today. Within 24 hours, I had a credit card on file and a contract signed. That's how quick some of these deals were happening, okay? So number one is quicker leads. Secondly is cheaper leads. Right now, I'm getting actual leads for $12, $8. In the beginning of some of these campaigns, it's $5. Even if you're spending $30 and you're getting a good quality lead, okay, do the math. I can spend $150, get 5 good quality leads and close a deal for $150. The thing about this is all of the measurements with Facebook is the cost per lead. Obviously there's other metrics, but I'm looking at the cost per lead. With Google, it's clicks, right? How much does it cost per click? Blah, 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 blah. So I'm getting cheaper leads, which is allowing me to test more stuff. It's allowing me to not be so scared to go in an area. It's allowing me to, hey, this doesn't look perfect, but let me give it a shot, right? Let me throw up an ad and see what happens. And I love that. So quicker leads, cheaper leads. And guys, the other reason why I'm confident switching to the strategy or adding this strategy is because you've got to remember, this is just a bridge. This is a bridge. The model itself, for those of you that are new, and those of you that aren't new, is to build a website, rank it on Google, and get organic traffic coming in. That organic traffic, those leads are the highest quality leads. They don't cost you anything, and they're going to that. And that's also what makes the business model as sexy as it is, because you can kind of set it and forget it. Your margins are high. You can turn off ads. So you got to remember, this is just a bridge. This is not a long-term strategy. This is not an arbitrage play where we're just getting leads for this price and selling them for this price. In the beginning, that's what it is. But you got to remember, it is just a bridge. So I'm looking at it going, hey, I'm not married to Google ads and Facebook ads as of right now, 13 campaigns, 5 different niches. It's printing leads, and it is very, very exciting. So these are the reasons why I am adding / switching to Facebook ads, and I've had extremely good luck. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, my results. Okay, I have had some varying results to an extent, but a lot of what I have done, a lot of the campaigns that I've tested have been very, very, very lucrative. Okay, so give me one moment. Let me see if I can pull up something. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about really quick is that, as I mentioned already, the speed of the leads coming in has been unbelievable. I've had situations where I've set up campaigns, and within 3 hours I've had leads. 3 hours. And again, as soon as I say that, I'm like, dude, 2020 is back, baby. 2020 is back. It's exciting. We got leads coming in. Now it's on you to go and take as much action as possible. It's really, really exciting. The speed of the leads coming in has been unmatched. It is reminding me of 2020, and it's very, very exciting. Okay. Secondly, I talked briefly about this, but the CPLs, the cost per lead, has been such that I don't worry about going and throwing up a campaign and losing a few bucks. Have I run a couple campaigns, which I'm going to get to in niches? I've run a couple campaigns where it started, whatever, and it crept up. And by the time that I paused the campaign, the cost per lead was like $50. And that's not great at all. But how many times, if you guys have been doing this a while, I know for me personally, there's been multiple times I've run $100 in ads, $150 in ads, $200 in ads in Google ads, and I've got nothing. So if I got one lead at the $200 mark, my cost per lead was $200. So my very worst CPL was $53, I think it was. Okay. And it was in a very competitive city. But I already had a client in that city and a ranking website. We were just trying to supplement, but I did get a $53 cost per lead. But I have seen the majority of what I've been doing, I've been getting between the 10 and 20 mark, and that is extremely exciting. $100, 5 to 10 leads, dude, you're closing a deal for $100, and then you're getting your money back, and then you're playing with house money, and you're just scaling. Okay, close rate. My last 4 or 5 deals. Okay, the last 4 deals for sure, maybe 5, have been with Facebook ads. Okay. No, I didn't need any Google ads. I didn't need anything. It strictly on Facebook ads. Now, there has been a situation where we tried to run an ad in San Antonio, just being completely transparent. We should have never touched San Antonio. We had somebody that was on the hook, somebody that was like, hey, we'll take leads. But if we looked at the due diligence process that I've always taught, we should have never been in that area. It was one of those situations like, oh, I got a buddy in this big city. Let's see if we can get some leads. And we're like, hey, let's try it. And I will tell you that we ran it. We got a few leads. They weren't great. The CPL wasn't super high, but it wasn't a great quality lead. And we ended up having to pause it and not closing the deal. But majority of our deals, I think we're 4 for 6 on closing deals. 2 of them we've had to just pause because it didn't work. But that's the reality. How many times have I run a Google campaign? It hasn't worked. A lot. Okay. Also, guys, as I told you, there's been varying results based on the niche. Okay. I've had really, really good luck with concrete. I've had really good luck with pool cleaning, ironically. I've had good luck with, what else have I tried? Covered patios and awnings. Had really good luck with that. I haven't had great luck at all with duct cleaning, just to be very transparent with you. And I'm kind of like personally not loving that niche right now. I haven't had the greatest luck. I've only run one campaign, but I haven't had great luck with tree service. Okay. Which, by the way, isn't a huge deal because tree service has been hit relatively hard. So I'm okay with it. But just so you know, that's been my results with the campaigns that I've tested. Now, I've tried a few more. I'm kind of keeping those a little bit closer to my chest. I've shared those with my community. But we've had some really good results, but has varied a bit. Okay. Real quick. Well, I kind of already covered this. I just jumped into this right away. I've already covered the niches. There was good, bad, and then there's been a few that's been like, and that's okay. Okay. We've just been using it to test all kinds of different niches. And again, I would say overwhelmingly though, the majority of them have performed very, very well. Okay. So let's just talk really quickly as I wrap up this video is what does this mean? How does this change my sales process? It doesn't change it at all. Okay, I'm just gonna like spoiler. It doesn't change it at all. I put right here my new due diligence process. My new due diligence process. That's hard to say. Is that it's the same due diligence process. Okay, and what I mean by that is I'm looking at everything the same. Okay, my process for picking a city and a niche has not changed. I still look at Google ad. I look at the CPC. Why would you look at CPC? You're running Facebook ads. Well, because let's say I run the Facebook ads, it's working, I'm trying to rank, and then all of a sudden the Facebook ads takes a turn. I want the ability to be able to kick on the Google ad and not have a $20, $30 cost per click on the Google ad, right? On the Google side. So I'm still being very strict. I'm being very disciplined on my due diligence on what I'm choosing as a good city and a niche. It's a little bit annoying because, it's like part of me wants to be like, let's just freaking throw it to the wind. But I want to have as many opportunities to generate leads as possible in case one doesn't work. Okay. Guys, it's just another tool in the arsenal. I've got Google ads. I've got my organic. I've got my GMB when that works. And now I've got Facebook ads. It's just another tool. And guess what? I want you guys to know I will be working on the next thing. I don't know if it's going to be Bing ads. I don't know if at some point it's going to be ChatGPT ads. I don't know what it is, but it's just another tool. And I'm continually going to be adding new tools. My strategy is going to stay the same. And my technique is the only thing that's going to change. Okay. Here's what's cool about this as I end this. The chair now has 4 legs instead of 3. What I mean by that, guys, is prior to me discovering this or saying, hey, this works, in my mind, there was only 3 ways to generate leads. You had your organic, you had your Google ads, and you had your GMB. GMB kind of took a dump. I don't really focus on it that much anymore because it's easy come, easy go. Now it's hard come and easy go. And it's just like not worth it to me. I do still try to get it. We do get it occasionally. But I never worried too much because I still had the 2 prongs. I still knew how to run Google ads and I still knew how to do organic. So I was fine and I could get enough leads to keep my clients happy and to sign deals. Well, now I just added another leg to my chair. And now I have Facebook ads, I have Google ads, and I have organic, and I also have the GMB when it works. So now I have another way to generate leads to keep my clients happy. And it is, guys, listen to me. This is your second chance at 2020. I said this already in this video. When I presented this to my group, when I was preparing everything to do the presentation and the instruction, I called it literally in my notes, your second chance at 2020. And that's exactly what this is, guys. It's an exciting freaking time. I'm still learning. I spent another hour yesterday. I'm geeking out on this stuff. And I want to let you know this could also change in the future. And I might be running Bing ads. This might change. Okay. But as of right now, I'm going all in. I'm teaching this in my community as an additional training that they're getting. And we are cooking, we're baking. We've got people already getting leads within the first 5 hours by running this strategy. All I can say is this is your second chance at 2020. Don't miss it.